Take a look at your family. You probably look similar to your parents and siblings, and they look similar to their parents and siblings. However, you don't look exactly the same, and this is due to genetic variation. You get your genes from your parents, which is why you and your siblings look similar to them and each other. Your genes have alleles, which are different forms of the same gene. Alleles are like a code for your body that determine hair color and eye color, height, and other genetic features. Genetic variation is the variation in alleles and genes both within and among populations. Think of a population as a family unit. Within your family of closely related individuals, there is genetic variation. Within a neighborhood, there are many families, and so there is also genetic variation among that larger group. Genetic variation can be identified through either continuous or discrete traits. Continuous traits are traits that vary continuously, such as height and weight. Discrete traits are traits that can only be measured discretely, such as tongue rolling. You either can or can't do this. There are three sources of genetic variation: mutation, gene flow, and sexual reproduction. A mutation is simply a change in the DNA. Mutations themselves are not very common and are usually harmful to a population. Because of this, mutations are usually selected against through evolutionary processes. Gene flow is the movement of genetic information between different populations. This method increases genetic variation because introducing new alleles into a population increases the amount of diversity. The more alleles available in a population, the more variation that can occur. Sexual reproduction leads to genetic variation because it creates new gene combinations. You get half of your genetic information from one parent and half from the other, which creates a huge number of possible genetic combinations. Crossing over during sexual reproduction is when DNA strands exchange, and this also leads to new genetic combinations. Let's review. Genetic variation is an important pathway to natural selection because it creates new genetic possibilities within and among populations. Genetic mutations, gene flow, and new genetic combinations are all ways to increase genetic variation, and we can see many examples of this in nature.